Most people just throw this stuff away. But this is garden gold. Today, I want to show you how one simple bucket can turn kitchen waste into soil for your garden. Right here, all the equipment that we'll be using for this project today. Now, you don't need a lot of fancy equipment for this little project. You just need a bucket and a lid, and you need yourself a drill, which I'll show you why we'll be using that later. Now, if you don't have a lid for your bucket, that's okay, don't worry. Most people will use a lid, and all the lid is gonna help with is to keep things tidy, help retain a little bit more moisture, and let you roll the bucket on the ground rather than having to stir it up. So if you have a lid, don't worry. All you're gonna wanna do is just cover your kitchen scraps up with what I like to call your brown materials, straw, dry leaves, or even cardboard. And that'll help to keep your little compost smell-free so you don't bother your neighbors or anything if you're living in an apartment. And you can always cover your bucket with a board or a rock or even more cardboard to help keep critters out and all that stuff. The main point is that you're starting. So the first thing that we're gonna be doing to our bucket here, which is why we have the drill, is to drill holes all throughout our bucket, which is gonna help with airflow. Compost always needs good aeration, so you want to make sure you drill a good amount of holes in your bucket, which will help the air flow through the compost. After that, you'll start filling up your bucket with your kitchen scraps, and again, your brown materials, straw, leaves, cardboard, and then you'll give it a good mix. Cheap, simple, but effective. I want to help show other people that this is possible in a very small space. You might be watching this video living in an apartment, wanting to try the self-sufficient way and a new lifestyle of getting back to the ways of old. And this is one way that you can start if you're living in a very small space. You don't need much, just a bucket, some kitchen scrap, and then your carbon material. And within a few months, you'll have yourself some nice, nutrient-rich soil for any plants that you want to grow. Now that we have an idea of how we're gonna do this, let's grab our bucket and our drill, and let's go start building this bad boy. I'm just using about a 1/4-inch drill bit here that I'll be using for drilling my holes in this bucket. Airflow is everything. Remember, like I said, without it, you're just gonna get stink instead of soil. And make sure you cover every layer of scraps with some form of carbon. That's what will keep the smells and the flies away. Think like a lasagna, how it's layered, browns, greens, and don't stress it too much. Nature does most of the work for you. All right, now that we got the holes all throughout our bucket, we're gonna go take our bucket, get it washed up, cleaned up, try and get some of these stickers and stuff off of here. The little plastic pieces, we want to get those off of there. We want to get this nice and clean before we add anything into it. All right, so we just got some dish soap here. We're going to use just a little bit to wash out the bucket. We got a scraper here to scrape off anything that we don't want on our bucket, stickers, labels, little plastic shards from drilling, all that good stuff. Get this nice and cleaned up, and then we can add our ingredients. All right, now that we got our bucket all cleaned up, washed up, we're gonna let it dry off for a moment, and then we'll add the ingredients.
20 minutes later.
All right, now our bucket's all dry, all good. We can add all our ingredients here. We got some veggie scraps, kitchen waste that was in the fridge. Wife said it was no good, throw it in the compost. We got some straw here, got plenty of that around for the chickens and everything. This is old straw, not gonna be used for the chickens, so we'll add it to our compost. We got some dry leaves here that I raked up underneath our beautiful little trees here. And again, like I said, cardboard, brown paper bags. So now, let me show you how we're gonna put everything together and ratio this up. All you gotta do is just keep adding your kitchen scraps and covering them with your carbon. You can add banana peels, coffee grounds, veggie scraps, all of it's good. Got a whole bunch of scraps here. Like I said, that my wife said was no good. You know, old potato, we're gonna throw that in the bottom of the compost. Hey, you never know. We might grow a potato in here. I'm just gonna break up this lettuce a little bit so it breaks down faster in the compost. Now that I got a nice solid layer of veggie scraps, you wanna add your browns. And that's a nice good layer of straw. We're gonna keep adding some more. We got tomatoes here. We got corn on the cob here that we're not gonna eat. More potatoes. You can't even throw peppers into your compost. And that is all the scraps. So I wanna cover those with a little bit of dry leaves. I'm gonna tear up this bag here, and I'm just gonna throw it in right on top of everything. And that's really all there is to it. You just want a layer. Like I said, green, brown, one layer of each, and you're good to go. Every few days, you just wanna give the bucket a roll on the ground if you have a lid. If you don't have a lid, just grab you a little tiny garden rake and stir it up. As far as a moisture check, Remember, you want it to be like a damp, wrung out sponge. If it's too dry, add some water in there. If it's too wet, add some more carbon in there. It's a very easy rhythm. Feed the bucket, stir the bucket, and forget about it.
Forget about it.
Remember, nature will always take care of it. And in a few weeks, depending on the temperature, everything will start breaking down. It might not look pretty at first, but when it's done, trust me, you'll know. A dark, crumbly, earthy smell. That right there is living soil, and your plants are gonna love it. A clean coop keeps your hands healthy, and compost keeps your garden alive. You see, you're not just throwing away food anymore. You're creating fertility. A tiny homestead, or even in a tiny apartment balcony. If you got a bucket, you can do this. And this little step that you take right here, this is how we get away from all that chaos and build a cycle that feeds us. Like the good book said, the meek shall inherit the earth. So there you go. One bucket, but an endless cycle of soil. Just start today. Don't stress it, don't overthink it. Grab yourself a bucket and give it a go, because you never know what might happen. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I hope you all maybe learned something new and it helped you maybe take that next step into that journey of self-sufficiency and building a better life for you and spreading that message and inspiring others around this globe. That's what we're here to do at Mundo's Homestead Adventures. Not just create self-sufficiency for my family, but to show you out there that this is possible. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All you have to do is stop overthinking it and just start. So thank you all for tuning into the channel, and thank you all for watching another video on Mundo's Homestead Adventures. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.